Okay, welcome to Astro Conversations. I want to talk to you guys about a recent sleep paralysis, phenomenon that I just went through actually this morning. That I hadn't experienced something like this in a very, very long time. But what I found so interesting about this sleep paralysis is that proof was actually left, okay? And I did take a picture of the proof that was left. I don't have that as an avatar, but I may use it as a cover, but I don't really like the way it looks. And plus, I don't really want people to see the energy that was placed there. So I'm just going to save that for my own personal files. If anybody would like to see it, I have no problem showing it. But basically, let me just go ahead and put my disclaimer, okay? If you're not into mysteries, if you're not into weird phenomenons, if you're not, if you're not open-minded, if you're not into like scary stories, Halloween, spookism, all that, thing that goes with that, okay? You just don't, let me just tell you right now, don't listen, because it's going to turn you all the way off, because you're not going to understand the mystery, the science behind sleep paralysis, okay? So I had a sleep paralysis story that I have it on my channel, and I think it's under like the ghost stories, where I had like a sleep paralysis where I did see a shadow figure that was looking over me, but I knew that it was confirmed that was actual something that was going on, because it was confirmed with someone else who was living in the same house, and they had the same exact situation. They described the image the same way, so I knew that there was some type of ghost in that other house that I was living in, okay? There was definitely some ghosts in that house. So I'm here to talk to you about my sleep paralysis story. So I'm going to get into it. And basically, I'm an early riser, okay? And I was born in the early mornings, okay? So me getting up early in the morning is beneficial for me, okay? And I know it's beneficial for me because, again, I was born in the day, and then, it just makes sense why I'm so productive at the early morning hours of the day. So anyway, I woke up around 3 o'clock this morning, okay? And I, did whatever I had to do. Then I went to bed, and then I woke up again, okay? Did what I had to do. And at that point, I could have started my day around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, but I really didn't want to, because I was exhausted. I had a good time the night before, and I was like, you know what, an extra 10, 15 minutes will do me lovely, okay? Because, I would have that stored up energy, okay? To do what I needed to do the activities, to move about, okay, throughout my day, because I have that extra 15 minutes. So around 3:30, I should have got up and started my day, but I didn't. So I figured, I said, I told myself, let me go ahead and try to get like 15, 20 minutes in, and then hopefully I can get up around 4 o'clock or whatever and start moving out and about. You know what I mean? Do my little exercising, and, check my emails, get in contact with my people, get everything in order. So I should be on the up and up at that point. But I was so freaking tired, man. I'm telling you, I shouldn't have hung out if I knew I had to get up and move about the next day. But hey, I hung out. I lived my life for that day. So as I was sleeping, there's some things that occurred, and it was weird because I hadn't had a situation like that in a very long time. But anyway, let me just go ahead and read what sleep paralysis is, okay? And it says, sleep researchers conclude that in most cases, sleep paralysis is simply a sign that your body is not moving smoothly through stages of sleep. Rarely is sleep paralysis linked to deep underlying psychiatric problems Over the centuries, symptoms of sleep paralysis have been described in many ways and often attributed to an evil presence, unseen night demons in ancient times, the old hag in Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, and alien abductors, okay? Alien abductors. Now, I might get into something a little bit on this channel, and if I get into it, then I'll just add it in my title so, people understand, or people will be able to find the information within regards to alien abduction, okay? So let me read even more. I don't know if I'm going to add it on this story, but I'll have to see how this flows. Okay, so almost every culture, okay? Let's say that again. Almost every culture, okay, throughout history has had stories of shadowy, evil creatures that terrify helpless humans at night. People have long sought explanations for this mysterious sleep time paralysis and the accompanying feelings of terror. Excuse me. Now, I have recently heard, okay, people that I've communicated with have said to me that they've had a very, very, very hard time sleeping, okay? And not only are they having a hard time sleeping, when they do rise, even though they don't rise as early as I do, okay, they're still complaining about being tired. Even going to bed at a decent hour. A decent hour to me going to bed is 10 o'clock. Like, that's good. I mean, if you're getting in your bed and you're rolling and you're, doing your thing in your bed, you good at 10 o'clock. Okay. And then you just sleep through. Some people, they get up, let's say normally if they're on the road working a 9 to 5 in the brick and mortar. Okay. In the physical society of life, they're getting up around 6:30, those kind of people. Okay. Then they're hitting the road around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then they're stuck in traffic, complaining every day about all these problems, and they're going through the same shit Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But they're not really 9 to 5, they're really 6 to 7. Because they got to hit the road around 6:30, and if they want to be there on time and not walking in as a slacker of life, then they got to leave the crib around 6:30 if they want to be on time at the job, whether they take public transportation or their own transportation. It don't matter what kind of transportation, they got to get it grooving and moving around that time if they want to be on time in life. So a lot of people are complaining, and I just talked to one of my girlfriends. She had complained how tired she was, but I did find out that she wasn't taking vitamins, she's not exercising and things like that. It's a lot of stresses, and she's dealing with a lot of energy exchanges and stuff like that. So she's battling the fatigue right now, and it's going to take a while for her to understand that certain people that she may be dealing with, okay, may be people that needs her energy, okay? And, I discovered energy exchange when someone came to me one day, and, I'm not going to front, they may have been throwing a couple of bags. That's why they told me this, okay? But they told me that they needed my energy in order to make moves. And that's when I was like, wow, okay. Now I get it. Because there was a point in my life, which I'm glad I wasn't doing YouTube videos at that time. Because if I was doing YouTube videos at that time, trust and believe, you would have heard me say throughout the videos how tired I would be, how fatigued, how I wanted to take a nap, this, that, and the third. I actually went through a situation like that for many years. I think I was stuck in that tired mode for about a year or 2 years, where I used to always complain about how tired I was, tired. And, you know, people around me would be like, okay, we're tired of hearing you say that you're tired. We know that you're tired. And I would just be completely worn out. I mean, completely just depleted of energy. Okay. And hoping that, you know, you're at the level now of open-mindedness and you're, you know, okay with weird stories, because I'm about to tell you a weird story. I even said it in my, I think it's on my channel. I don't know what video it's under. I think it's probably under the ghost story or whatever. Alien abduction. I don't know. But, you know, the last time I had a sleep paralysis was when I had this dream. And it was a deep dream where I saw that I was abducted. Okay. And I was on a table. And all I remember, it was like screenshots. It wasn't a full slideshow, but it was like still frames. And I remember I was laying on the table, and then, you know, they had drew my blood. And my blood, I remember I looked over and it was blue. And I remember, you know, after, I just don't remember anything after that. But then I remember that I was like released. And I was like walking in the street. And I was like walking, and then then it cut off again, and it was another thing, a still frame, but I can't really recall it right now. So I can't really tell you what the next still frame was, but that was that. Okay. And then I remember waking up out of that dream, and I remember when I woke up, I was touching my arm. The same arm that I saw in that still frame dream where my blood was being drawn. And I remember like hitting my arm. And I remember I was looking at my arm when I got up in the morning. And I was like trying to look to see if there was like a hole or anything in my arm. And I did see like a little hole. But I was like, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe, you know, that's always been there. And then, you know, and then I started like moving my arm, and then I could feel that my arm was indeed sore. You know what I mean? But I didn't really think of anything. I was just so tired all the time. Like I woke up tired. I went to bed tired. I was tired throughout the day, and I was just exhausted. Okay. And that's when I started to get into vitamins. And, you know, I started to complain to people and let them know how tired I was. And I started talking to medical professionals. And then that's when I got into the holistic healing and these vitamins. And then, because I mean, you know, you want to be active. You want to stay active. You don't want to be fucking dragging your feet throughout your day. That's not productive. And I don't ever want to be in that situation again. I was in that situation. I'm not going to front. For about 2 years. And I think that was in conjunction to the evil eye, which I do plan on doing a broadcast, a show on the evil eye. But there's some more information that I need to look up. I do want to get some testimonies from people so I can incorporate the information in the show when I do the evil eye. But I was going through a situation where I was dealing with a stalker. And every stalker has the evil eye. You got to believe that. If you have a stalker in your life, that person has the evil eye. Okay? And they're not looking at you with happiness. They're looking at you with hatred and envy and jealousy. And they're looking at you because they want to watch you. Okay? You know what I don't understand about stalkers? If you don't like me, get the fuck away from me. That's my thing. You know? Why the fuck you feel like you need to like watch a motherfucker all the time? Stay the fuck back. You know how much shit you could be accomplishing in life if you would just focus on Dofia and not focus on nobody else? But see, stalkers don't know that. Stalkers think that they're going to be ahead if they fucking watch your every move and they know everything about you. They think they're going to be ahead. But you ain't going to be ahead living that life, okay? That's why, you know, I can't really get into like sitting down and watch people who's successful, because I'm like, yo, I got mad shit I got to do. I don't got time to sit down and watch somebody live a regular average Joe fucking lifestyle like I do. It makes no sense for me to watch that, okay? I know what life is. Everybody who is on this planet plane know what life is. I don't got to watch you live life. That makes no sense. So anyway, that's my opinion. That's how I get down. So stalkers, you know, they get down by watching your every move. They listen to your everything. I mean, they know, like I said, they're on you, okay? And that person has the evil eye. And when you have the evil eye on you, from my experience, okay, when somebody is watching you like that all the time, like I said in my stalking video, one of the things that you will notice is that they will start to move like you move, dress like you dress, and whatever else, you know, they have been able to witness, okay? They will do that too, okay? Now, when you have somebody who is on you like that, and they're watching you, and they're studying you, and they can't work, okay, they can't actually go out and work. They have to stay around the premises to watch you. I mean, it don't matter what time you come out. These people will be on that ass, okay? You could come out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they're going to be on that ass. 10 o'clock at night on that ass. 2 o'clock in the morning on that ass. 5, it don't matter. They on guard 24 hours on that ass. On that ass, okay? That is a person who's a stalker with the evil eye. And the evil eye, one of the things that I know is the number one symptom, okay, is fatigue and always being tired. You have poor sleep patterns when you have the evil eye on you. That's a guarantee, okay? So I had the poor sleep patterns, okay? I even lost color too. I got really pale, okay? And I was lighter than what I was. I don't know where that was coming from, but I had lost my color. And I lost a lot of like motivation. If you have poor sleep, you have no motivation. If you are not sleeping well, you have no motivation to do anything basic because that energy has been depleted, okay, from somebody having that eye on you, okay? And that is a symptom that you really should not ignore, okay? Because it affects the way you move out and about in life. So anyway, that's the story I wanted to incorporate into this show. But going back to the sleep paralysis, so I woke up and I was fatigued. And I was so tired, during that time. I was tired before, I was tired after the dream. I was just tired. So I didn't really think anything of it. But last night, I had the weirdest phenomenon since that, alien abduction dream that I had. Because I'm not saying I was abducted, so I'm going to get it twisted. I'm just saying it was a dream that felt very real. And when I woke up, my arm was sore and I did feel tired. Like when you give blood, you go to the doctor's office and you give blood and you walk out and you're like, please, somebody just get me something. I have to drink something. I need a donut. I need something. I am tired. That's how I felt. So last night, like I said, I woke up and then I went back to sleep. And I remember when I was sleeping, I was like, that cat nap you take where you're like sleeping, but you're not 100% sleep, you're still on point type sleep. That was the sleep that I had. But I remember that the sleep that I had, like somebody was like pulling down on the blanket. Like literally pulling it down for me where I felt like the blanket was pulling down. And, I kept pulling it back up to cover myself because it was a little bit chilly. And then that happened, and, I kept, tugging it and pulling it. And then, again, I was tired, so I was like, you know what, maybe I'm just bugging out. So then that happened. So then that tug of war stopped with the blanket. Remember, the hand pulling on the blanket. Then I remember I had fell asleep, I dozed off. And then, again, those cat naps where you're not fully, out of this world. You're on point. If somebody knocks, you up. It's good. That type of nap. So I remember I slept and I slept and I kept looking at the time. But then I remember I got up and I was like, I was trying to move my arm. You know how you move the blanket out the way? You ready to just move it and just get on with life? It was like somebody had came behind me and it was like holding on to me really tight. You know how when you're sleeping in the bed with your significant other and they're holding on to you? It was that feeling. And I kept trying to move the blanket. It was like somebody didn't want me to move the blanket. I was trying to move the blanket up. And it wouldn't get up. And I kept trying to do that. And then I was, I was at the point where I knew, okay, I couldn't mobily move. Let me yell and, for somebody in my house. And I'm telling you, I had the words in my mouth and I was like, it was like I could not. I couldn't say the name. I mean, I was saying it in my mind. I was trying to scream and call for the person and nothing, absolutely nothing was coming out of my mouth. It was like I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. And I was like, you know what? At that point, I was like damn near awoke going through the situation. Okay. And, finally I just kept fighting and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. This is a dream. You know what I'm saying? I said, this is a fucking dream. Okay. And I just was like, you know what? I got my energy together and I said, fuck this. I set the blanket and I just moved the motherfucker. And then I got up and I said, yo, that shit was crazy. That's the only thing I could think of. I was like, you know what? I'm not going back to sleep after that shit. Straight up. I'm not going back to sleep. Okay, after that experience, okay, so I got up, okay, start moving and grooving and doing what I needed to do. I started my day a little bit late because remember I was a little bit tired, but I was on time. So I got up, you know what I'm saying, regular shit, you know what I mean, for the foot touch the ground, you praise the gods above, you know what I'm saying, you do your little prayer, did all that. You know what I'm saying? Made my bed, because you always make your bed when you come out of it, okay? Made the bed, made sure it was picture perfect, okay? The Virgo in me. Went into the bathroom, refined myself, got ready to go to the gym. But before I could walk out, I looked at my bed and I saw 2 handprints at the bottom of my blanket. And I was so shocked. I said, I cannot believe this. Remember I was telling you earlier that when I had woke up initially that, I felt like somebody was pulling the cover down from me. And I kept pulling. It was like that tug of war. And then I finally pulled and that stopped. And then to wake up and see that I have 2 handprints on the bottom of my blanket. And it's 9:55 a.m. right now. Okay, dealing with the 555. I was shocked. I was still shocked. And I said, you know what? This is weird. I went into my bedroom and I took a picture, which I have it saved on my phone, which I could easily leave it as an avatar. But again, I don't want any, I don't want anybody reading that energy, okay? If I want to post it, I will, but I probably won't. I'm just going to leave that for my records as proof of what happened to me this morning, okay? So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. Again, this is my sleep paralysis / alien abduction / storytelling. You know what? If you're spooked out or if you're not open-minded, just take it as a story, okay? Take it as a story that I'm telling. One of those Halloween stories. But shit is real. Shit is really real. So, yeah, let me see if I can go into this. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go into that right now. I think I'm going to leave that for another story. But it has something to do with alien abduction and women complaining that they're having symptoms of pregnancy and actually feeling a baby moving inside of them, but they're taking the test and they're not pregnant. They don't look pregnant, but they feel pregnant, okay? And even stories of women saying that they felt pregnant. They know the symptoms of what pregnancy is like because they've been pregnant before, but they can't be pregnant. You know what I mean? They can't be pregnant type situation because they're not fucking like that. So, you know what I'm saying? They can't be pregnant. So that type of situation, but they feel pregnant and they feel babies moving inside of them and shit like that. Feel nauseous, everything, fatigue, everything, pregnant, for real, for real. But, some women from my research, okay, and I want to come back with this and do a show on this because this is something that's of interest to many people, okay? But, some women are even saying that they felt like, a baby was, removed from them. I mean, there's no signs of a C-section. There's no signs of vaginal birth. But they just feel like, what they felt has been taken out of them. Okay? So they're even saying that aliens are, impregnating women. And they're removing the fetus from these women before it goes to the full stage of 9 months. Because, when you give birth to an actual human being, the proper gestation term is 9 months. Okay? Some people have it at 6 months, 5 months. I mean, that is a possibility. But, the earlier, the more risk. But, so people try to stick to that 9 months, but you don't want to get to that 10 or 11. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get to the year because now you're going to have an adult coming at that pussy. You don't want to do that. So, okay. So, 9 months is good, okay? Don't try to go 9 months and, but these women are complaining that, there's something going on that they really can't explain, but they know what their body feels like. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. And I, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Hopefully I'll come back again and I'll be talking about alien abduction again. And, women having symptoms of pregnancy. Okay. But not really being pregnant. There's no signs of pregnancy. There's no look of pregnancy, but there's a feeling of symptoms of pregnancy. But not only a feeling of symptoms, but an actual feeling of a baby kicking inside of these women. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end it. And I thank you so much for listening. Thank you.